السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Brothers and sisters, jazakumullahu khairan for staying the course. We've completed, alhamdulillah, 12 days fasting. Walillah alhamd. May Allah accept from us. We are approaching half the month of Ramadan. Subhanallah. And we're in Surah Yusuf, a very powerful surah, very enjoyable surah. It's a complete story from beginning to end. And for tonight, I want to make it a shorter reflection, so we continue to hear from the surah. I want to put the context of Surah Yusuf. It has so many dimensions. Today, I want to prioritize the youth. I want to talk about the parallels, but the contrast between the life of Yusuf and the youth today living in America. So what is the youth experiencing today in America, but is contrasted with the life of Yusuf? Yusuf alayhi salam was youth, he was young. Little boy, loved by his father, despised by his brothers. So they conspired to either get rid of him or kill him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him. And Allah brings him to Egypt, where he faces some trials, which many young people may face. So today, what are the trials of the youth? Those that are young and handsome in school, they get a lot of attraction from females. And if you succumb to that attraction, you may end up in jail with an accusation of sexual assault or whatever not. It can happen. You can get somebody pregnant. We're talking reality now. So that's one thing about the youth. And I hope they're all paying attention. The life of the youth is a life of taking risks. Either driving too fast, you're going to get yourself a speeding ticket, and you may end up in jail. Or get yourself into substance abuse, it may get you in jail. And then when you go to jail, you don't sometimes improve, you learn how to become a better criminal when you come out. And then you're going to have a life of in and out of the system. Subhanallah, Yusuf alayhi salam, he was put in prison for no crime he committed. When several beautiful women, not just one, the wife of Aziz was just the head. The second time she invited all her friends. And they told him, وَلَئِن لَمْ يَفْعَلْ مَا آمُرُهُ لَيُسْجَنَنَّ وَلَيَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ. Several women wanted to sexually assault him. Do you know why Yusuf ended up in jail? Who can tell me, why did Yusuf end up in jail? Ultimately, it's a philosophical question. Why did he end up in jail when there was no evidence of him having any wrongdoing anyway? Yeah, to save himself, yes. He asked Allah to go to jail. قَالَ رَبِّ السِّجْنُ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا يَدْعُونَنِي إِلَيْهِ. He said, oh Allah, I prefer to go to jail rather than committing the sin. He could have committed the sin and Allah would have forgiven him because he was put under duress. Look at the integrity of this young man. To refuse to commit a haram and said, I would rather go to jail. That is why Yusuf never in jail said, oh Allah, he complained. He said, Allah, I ended up in jail. He accepted that fate. He asked Allah. That was his dua. Every Nabi makes a special dua, Allah accepts. So he never complained while he was there. Oh Allah, why you put me here? I didn't do anything wrong. Blah, 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 blah. He met friends in jail. Guess what? He tried to make them better by teaching them Tawheed and Aqidah. Ya sahibayi sijin, أَأَرْبَابٌ مُتَفَرِّقُونَ خَيْرٌ أَمِ اللَّهُ الْوَاحِدُ الْقَهَّارُ. Gave them da'wah. They became close. That's why he didn't want to tell them the interpretation. أَمَّا أَحَدُكُمَا وَأَمَّا الْآخَرُ. He doesn't want to directly look and say, you're going to die. You're going to live. Subhanallah. Look at how Yusuf's character shines through the story. And that's why when the king heard about how good he is, sent a message to get him out, قال ارجع إلى ربك فاسأله ما بال النسوة اللاتي قطعن أيديهن إن ربي بكيدهن عليم. He could have said, yes, I should come out of jail because I didn't need to be here. He said, no, just ask him about the story. I want my innocence to exonerate me, not a favor to the king. Young men, you need to have this type of life of integrity. We live in a world of social media where there's a lot of attraction, there's a lot of temptation, there's a lot of texting and sexting. This is just the truth of the matter. And this could ruin your lives nowadays. All of it. Learn to develop the character of Yusuf alayhi salam. Not everybody that praises you and attracted to you is a good person. Not every friend that says, hey, you want to try smoking something is a good friend. Not everybody that says, let's go for joyriding, that's not a good friend. Not person that says, hey, let's get out of your parents' house, they're sleeping, that's not a good friend. The life of Yusuf is almost a pure life. And you know what the reward is? The smallest reward of that life, in the day of judgment, the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَرَجُلٌ دَعَتْهُ امْرَأَةٌ ذَاتَ مَنْصِبٍ وَجَمَالٍ فَقَالَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهِ. Wow. When somebody beautiful, attractive, and powerful makes suggestions to you, you say, I fear Allah more. Those type of youth will become leaders. That is why when the king saw that in him, أَسْتَخْلِصْهُ لِنَفْسِي, I want to attach him to me. قَالَ جَعَلْنِي عَلَى خَزَائِنِ الْأَرْضِ إِنِّي حَفِيظٌ عَلِيمٌ. They gave him the best position to save Egypt for a 15-year period. سَبْعَ سِنِينَ دَأَبًا. 7 difficult years, 7 good years, 7 difficult years, 1 good year after that. That's a total of 15 years. Who is going to help save America from 15 years of fitna? Which one of you, young men, I'm talking to you, young women. And oh, by the way, they're not here, the majority of them. See? They need to be at the masjid to get this type of learning. They spend too much time in school. Build our future is an attempt to give our kids the tools to be like Yusuf. I need everybody committed to that. Some of us, we learned something from back home. We're holding on to it. What about our kids? Will they not only be good Muslims, will they carry on this legacy of Islam? Some of our kids will abandon Islam. In your grave, that's when you'll find out. Because they will never send you dua, and if they make dua, Allah won't even accept it. Because they're innahu amalun ghayru salih. So you see, the son of Nuh got punished. He wasn't righteous. And Yusuf is the opposite, one of the most righteous sons ever mentioned. And subhanallah, the story is so powerful towards the end. So listen towards the end. I'll make it light and short so you can enjoy the story. It's a story of redemption, of triumph for Yusuf to stand and look at the dominion under his feet. And he said these powerful words, I conclude. رَبِّ قَدْ آتَيْتَنِي مِنَ الْمُلْكِ وَعَلَّمْتَنِي مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ فَاطِرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ أَنْتَ وَلِيِّي فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ توفني مسلما وألحقني بالصالحين. Wow. Subhanallah. Allahumma amin. We need youth who could guide this nation. But they need the knowledge of the Quran, the conviction of Iman, and for them to have the yaqeen of the Anbiya. To speak to this nation with clarity in language and in understanding the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what build our future is about. Don't think about the money it takes to get there. Allah will bring the risk for it. I need your hearts committed to it, that's all. And inshallah, our sincerity and effort, Allah will make it happen. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اصلح شبابنا وأصلح شيبنا وأصلح أطفالنا وأزواجنا يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا. Inshallah, we will continue and finish Surah Yusuf tonight.